Hi, what's up beautiful people, and welcome back to my channel. In today's tutorial, I'm going to be explaining to us the difference between the implicit and the explicit intent in Android. As a developer, you need to understand the difference between these two, because if you do so, you are going to know the one in which you need to use in your mobile application to perform a particular function. Now, let's take a look at what the intent is. The intent is an abstract description of an operation to be performed. Its most significant use is in the launching of activities in our mobile applications. Basically, I want you to understand that the intent is just a key that helps you navigate from one screen to another. Without the intent, it's so impossible for you to move from activity A to activity B in your mobile application. Let's take a look at what the activity is. An activity is an Android component that provides a screen with which users can interact with in a mobile application. The user interface in which your user interacts with is simply what we call an activity. Mind you, if you don't want to use an activity in your mobile app, you can also use what we call a fragment to display all the layout to your users during when the app has successfully been built. But one thing I want you to understand is the activity and fragment works mostly the same way. In that way, an Android activity is very similar to Windows in desktop application. An Android app may contain one or more activities, meaning one or more screens. It's not necessary for you to have maybe limited number of activity in your mobile application. You can have more than that depending on the kind of app you're working upon. Implicit intent. The implicit intent doesn't specify the components in the Android application. In such a case, intent provide information on available components provided by the system that is to be invoked. Let's take a look at this simple illustration. I have two mobile applications on the screen. I have my details app and my URL app. In my details app, I have 4 icons. Whenever the user clicks on any of the icon, it's going to trigger a particular function. If the user clicks on contacts, it's going to take the user to the contact screen that is being provided by Android in the mobile application. Note that we are not the one that created the contact screen, but we can actually call it in our mobile app. We can navigate to that screen. The way we perform this action is through the use of the implicit intent. Another brief example of that is when you are trying to navigate to your Gmail using an external app. When you click on Gmail in a particular application and it directly takes you to your Gmail app in your mobile phone or whichever way, it's just a simple way of understanding how the implicit intent works. Explicit intent. The explicit intent specifies the components in an application. That is, only the targeted component or class is to be invoked. You can pass information from one activity to another using explicit intent. Take a look at this illustration. I have a mobile application here called Shop Store, and this Shop Store has 3 activities. The first one is the main activity, product activities, and the description activity. Whenever the user clicks on Shop Now button, it's going to navigate the user to the products activity. In this case, you as the developer, you created all these activities. If you do not create any of this and you're trying to trigger your button to navigate to the other activity, you are going to get an error. But because we created these components in our application, we can simply navigate to it inside of our mobile app. We are not trying to refer to any external source here. We are referring directly to the components we have created in our mobile application. Looking at the product activity, if the user clicks on any of the item, is going to navigate the user to the description activity, and if the user clicks on the go back button, it's going to navigate the user back to the product activity. An example of that is what you can see in the code section on the screen. By the way, I already created a video on this to explain to us more. I hope you enjoyed this video.